Today we got Batgirl, Cassandra Cain, taking on X-23. Who comes out on top? Well, let's find out.
Eyes up. Stay sharp. Stay down. Final warning. I could do this all day.
The daughter of two notorious assassins, David Cain and Lady Shiva, Cassandra left her father as a child after she killed a man and saw his pain and fear while he died. After saving Commissioner Gordon's life, she became the new Batgirl, Batman and Oracle's blessing, was later adopted by Bruce Wayne. Later still, she gave the role of Batgirl to her friend Stephanie Brown and became Black Bat. Cassandra is impressively strong, able to punch through a concrete wall with just 2 hits, knock out superhumans, and shatter swords for bare hands. She also went through extensive training as a child in order to increase her durability, to the point where getting shot is actually part of her training. And let me just tell you, this training really paid off, as Cassie's been able to fight with a knife stuck in her heart. She's been shot 4 times, just kept on going. Also superhumanly fast, moving so fast that it just appears it's a blur, can effortlessly weave it through bullets, and even dodge gunfire at point-blank range or after they were fired, and that's called arrows and shurikens, and actually throwing them back at her attackers while still in mid-air. Cassie's even dodged punches from Supergirl and her heat vision, though Kara was weakened at the moment. She's also one of the greatest martial artists in the world, and a master assassin, all due to the harsh training that she went through as a child. She's fought against Deathstroke, David Cain, Batman, Nightwing, and Lady Shiva, even beating Lady Shiva with just 1 punch while she had a broken arm. She's knocked out Oracle with just a tap to the chest, disabled a man through nerve strikes, and one time she even took down 50 mobs in just a few seconds before Tim Drake could really even react. But what really sets Cassandra apart is her ability to read body language and perceive weaknesses. She's able to comprehend a person's body movements as if she was just listening to another language. And because of this, she knows what a person is going to do before they actually do it. She's able to predict opponents' moves. Then, starting in the New 52 and moving forward, Cassie has the ability to perceive the weaknesses in almost anyone or anything that she sees. Combined with her ability to read body language, Cassandra can both determine an opponent's actions and come up with the best counterattack, making her an incredibly dangerous fighter. So we got in one corner one of Batman's prodigies, Batgirl. But, entering the ring, one of Wolverine's prodigies, X-23. X-23 is a product of the Weapon X program, cloned from a damaged sample of Wolverine's DNA. Since she could walk, she was trained to kill Wolverine, but instead, she ended up joining the X-Men, becoming his daughter figure and eventually his successor. As a clone of Wolverine, Laura has strength, speed, and agility similar to Wolverine. Now, she rarely relies on her strength to win a fight, but she has been seen at throwing opponents through walls, and she's quick enough to dodge bullets. Now, she even identify what type of bullets they are as they go whizzing past her face. Then, of course, X-23 has an incredible healing factor as well. She's been able to regenerate damaged tissue, regrow limbs, regenerated from having her body blown apart by a bazooka, survives having her stomach blown up and all of her sweat turned into acid, and one time she survived accidentally extending her own claws into her brain. Definitely not her best moment, but does showcase her impressive healing factor. It's even been argued that healing factor is better than Wolverine's. Now, notice how I mentioned that X-23 has the ability to regrow limbs? Well, that's because only her claws are coated in adamantium. The rest of her skeleton isn't. Now, Laura does have her claws, which are essentially the same as Wolverine's, except she has 2 coming out of her wrist, then 1 coming from her foot. Her claws may be able to slice up with a Hulk and cut out his eyes, and she's precise enough with them that she can easily slice someone's hamstring. X-23 is a highly skilled fighter, and is an expert in armed and unarmed combat, and a master of several different forms of martial arts. She's also participated in many different Black Ops missions and is an expert assassin. Now, despite being incredibly hard to beat, X-23 does have some weaknesses. First off, there's a specific chemical called a trigger scent that sends her into berserker rage, and she can't distinguish between friend and foe. Her healing factor can also be overloaded, to where it takes her a while to heal, and she's out of the fight. And since her entire skeleton isn't covered in adamantium, she's susceptible to decapitation and losing limbs. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, Batman vs. Wolverine is one of the most iconic matchups out there. So, it really just makes sense to put their female proteges against one another and get them going head to head. And really, in some ways, Cassie versus Laura is an even better and more even fight. So let's break it down. Now, first we gotta take a look at physicality. Well, even when she was just a child, Cassandra Cain was able to hurt Bronze Tiger for punches, able to hit hard enough to shatter a normal human skull and knock out superhumans with just one punch. Batgirl has a shattered source of her bare hands, punched through a 3-inch thick quartz window, and she's been able to get through concrete walls with just 2 hits. On the other hand, even though Laura pretty much always uses her claws in a fight, and rarely relies on just her physical strength, X-23 is just as strong, if not stronger, than Batgirl. At just 11 years old, she's able to send a large man flying through a window, able to kick a burglar into a wall and shatter the wall, and able to tackle giant rock creatures like Rockslide. She's strong enough to rip a metal door off its hinges or rip apart metal grates. She's broken through armored glass like it was nothing, and X-23 is even able to casually carry a grown man with one arm and climb out of Fin Fang Foom's stomach with Old Man Logan on her back, with Logan's adamantium skeleton causing him to weigh a whole lot more than a normal ordinary human. However, when it comes to durability, well, that obviously swings wildly in X-23's favor. Now, that's not to say that Cain isn't durable as well. In fact, Cassie's got an insane, almost superhuman level of durability and endurance. She's able to fight and train for hours and days at a time. She's got explosions, kept on fighting after being stabbed. She's even knocked out Lady Shiva with just one punch, even though Cassie had several broken bones and was real injured. Probably most impressively though, she's been grazed in the head with a bullet and still knocked the shooter out. She's been shot by Robin and didn't go down, and is still able to fight or being stabbed in the heart with a knife. She's been shot multiple times, didn't even flinch, and continued fighting and running straight towards the shooter. But yeah, no doubt about it, X-23 has got her beat. I mean, as a result of her healing factor, she has denser bones, stronger muscles and connective tissues, and she's just naturally harder to injure or her bones be broken. Laura has been shot full of bullets, and they didn't even slow her down. She's completely ignored being shot before, is found her being stabbed in the chest, and even received 8-10 grenades exploding right next to her. X-23 has also taken beatings from Sentinels, beatings from an amped blob, falling off an airplane, and even without her healing factor, she survived a blast that removed all of her skin and brutally had her throat torn out by a demon. Then, with her healing factor, she's able to regrow and reattach severed limbs, so without being stabbed in the brain, and even healed from having her skull be disconnected from her spine. She's had her stomach blown up and had her acid turned into blood by a matter manipulator, had half of her body blown apart by a bazooka, and her muscles are just constantly repairing themselves, making sure she doesn't tire out, and as she heals, her bones will reform and put themselves back into place. That durability and healing factor is a massive advantage, and a crucial part of the fight, and we'll circle back around to it later. But right now I want to talk about speed. With X-23, well, Laura never really plays around with opponents, and uses her speed as effectively as possible in a fight, in order to end that fight as quickly as she can. At just the age of 11, she's killed a man in an instant, killed a group of soldiers trained to beat her in just 5 minutes, and she killed a squad of mercenaries while moving too quickly to be seen. She's fast enough to dodge bullets. She's intercepted bullets, moving across the room to catch a bullet after it's been fired. She's deflected bullets with her claws before, and even identified the type of bullets as they went whizzing past her face. Laura is so fast that even when she's injured, laying on the ground, suffering from a broken neck, she still uses her claws to cut a crossbow bolt in half before it hits its target. But besides body reading, one of Cassie's greatest assets has got to be her speed. I mean, the girl is crazy fast. She's able to regularly dodge bullets, even at point-blank range, and she's dodged multiple shots before, even after they were fired, and managed to dodge a sniper bullet when it was only inches from her head. She's even arguably faster than bullets, as Cassie ran across the room, knocked out a gunman before the bullet even passed the point where she was to begin with. She's knocked out 6 men before a beer bottle even hit the ground, caught shurikens and arrows out of the air, and blitzed people and took down a group of thugs before even Robin could react. Cain has effortlessly dodged punches from Batman, and even punched Batman so fast that it was like he didn't even register the attack. She's just so fast that she appears as a blur, and the government even believes that she is a superhuman, or at the very least, enhanced with cybernetics when it comes to her speed. X-23 is impressive, and cutting and catching bullets is definitely nothing to scoff at. But Cassie is just faster. No real way around it. However, physically, I'm going to say that X-23 takes the edge. They're fairly equal in strength, and while Cain is faster, Laura is much more durable, and the gap between their durability is greater than the gap between their speed. But there's physicality and there is skill, and that's where Batgirl can take a healthy margin. Now, unlike other fighters and martial artists, Batgirl doesn't rely on particular martial arts styles or fighting forms. Cassie actually makes fun of the idea of styles and how they limit people, unlike her, who's mastered body reading. She's got the ability to read and predict an opponent's moves and memorize and adapt fighting styles. By predicting and reading an opponent's body, I don't just mean that Cassie can see a punch coming her way. I'm talking the kind of reading where she can instantly master some alien martial arts moves that she had never seen before. Body reading is literally a language for her, as she's able to tell everything about a person, like their secret identity, their entire master plan, whether they're withholding info, or even how they're feeling. She can even do this with someone like Batman himself. So she should be able to just see X-23 and her fighting style is the same as she would see any other fighting style. In fact, her body reading is so great that, at her best, she's literally impossible to hit. Not even Batman can touch her. On top of that, she's able to see every move that Batman can make, just by watching him stand. She can do the same with Laura. Cassandra also loves using nerve strikes, to the point where she's been able to one-shot shapeshifters and quote-unquote kill entire armies with nerve strikes, stopping their hearts, then resurrecting them in an hour. Basically, with all this on her side, it's been said the fight is over before it's even started. But with that being said, X-23 has got some skill as well. She's fought against Wolverine, Sabretooth, Daken, Lady Deathstrike before, fought against Captain America, and is even able to defeat a trio of clones of her that were additionally equipped with clones of the Venom symbiote. Then there are adamantium claws. They've cut through the Hulk before and stabbed out World War Hulk's eyes, and they'll easily cut humans to shreds. Most people also forget that she has foot claws, and these usually always come in handy in a fight and take enemies by surprise. So, end of the day, who wins? Well, Cassandra is the faster fighter, the more skilled fighter, and honestly, her body reading is almost the perfect defense. Like we said, she'll know every move. X-23 is going to throw her way. This will block them as well. But the problem is, it's going to be almost impossible for Cassie to quickly and effectively put her down, because Cain has really just got blunt force for her punches and kicks and her pressure points and nerve strikes. That might not be enough. I mean, Laura's fallen from skyscrapers and got up just fine. fallen from airplanes and remained conscious, and taking punches from Blob and World War Hulk didn't go down. Then with nerve strikes, well, X-23's healing factor is actually better or at least equal to Wolverine, considering she doesn't have the adamantium poisoning slowing down her healing. And Logan has taken nerve strikes from Echo, basically Taskmaster Light, who at the time was copying Daredevil's nerve strikes, who is a better nerve striker than Cass, and still Logan didn't go down. Even while being weakened, Wolverine was unaffected by Lord Shenanigan's nerve strikes, which are capable of either paralyzing or killing people. Basically, his healing factor counteracts the nerve strikes before they can actually even take place. And if Wolverine has taken those strikes no problem, and if X-23 and Wolverine have similar healing factors, then Laura will take them as well. Then there are her claws. With her adamantium claws, basically one strike and Cassie's down. One good shot and she wins. And if Cass can't quickly put her down, well, just holding someone down, death in all the four appendages will be almost impossible. Even her foot claws are going to be super effective. In fact, X-23 has fought against Taskmaster before, who has literally the same powers as Batgirl, and Taskmaster was kinda kicking X-23's butt, blocking or countering all of her attacks. But then X-23 was just able to land one strike, and it was actually with her foot claw that Taskmaster didn't know about, and it instantly switched the fight in her favor and let X-23 win. End of the day, Cass is faster and a better fighter, and will get some victories. But it's going to be so hard for her to put X-23 down. Well, X-23 can basically win with just one shot, and Laura is almost as fast. Very skilled as well, and she's even got a secret weapon that body readers before haven't been able to pick up on. It would be a ridiculously tough fight for both, but I gotta give this one to Laura. X-23 wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to hit that like button, the subscribe button, and turn on notifications to join the Fanco army, and I will see y'all next time.